based on the beloved books by JK Rowling, and they crossed it out and rewrote based on the tainted books by a transphobic. Like, this is really helping y'all beat the misogynistic allegations, isn't it now? One final story we got to talk about today, and for our internet focus, checking in with what's trending online, woke Twitter is crashing out. They are melting down, and of course, it's about JK Rowling. They are so obsessed. It's actually crazy the extent to which this woman's existence just triggers people like crazy. And I'm not somebody who agrees with her on every post she said about trans people. I'm not somebody that agrees with her in general, though I respect her opinion like anyone else's. And I think she's shown bravery to take the stance that she's taken. So I do respect that, even if I don't necessarily agree with every take. But regardless, right? So the controversy here that's exploding, particularly on woke Twitter, is because there's a new HBO series that is a Harry Potter TV show that was just released. They just dropped the trailer yesterday, and JK, of course, is involved in it, and it credits her, of course, because she's the creator of the whole universe. Here's the discussing film tweet: first trailer for the Harry Potter series releasing this Christmas on HBO. And this trailer, the tweet of it has 51 million views. But it's not necessarily because of the show itself, which is actually getting a lot of negative feedback, some of which I agree. It seems like they're kind of doing very, very similar to the movies, but everything's so dark. What is the new obsession with, like, making you squint to try to make out what's happening on screen? I really don't like that. I've noticed that in a lot of stuff, and I'm not a fan. And then also, like, I'm normally not one to care about, like, race swapping characters if the character's race is not that relevant. But they made Snape a black dude in this new one, and that just does not, like, that's not Snape. He's described in the books repeatedly as pale. I don't really think a black dude can be pale. And it just, that part doesn't hit for me. I don't care too much about it, but I'm like that. Anyway, will I watch a show? Probably not. But I'm not a big Harry Potter person. And I like, just, okay, then just keep it moving with your day and watch something else. Like, it's really not that deep. That's how normal adults engage with the existence of things that aren't their cup of tea in the world. But on Twitter, we have a lot of people, and then we have normal adults, and it's two circles. Like, there's no Venn diagram. And I'm on Twitter, so that's I'm reading myself as well there. But I'm going to go through some of the tweets here. It was absolutely unhinged, the meltdown over this. This left-wing account, and a tweet that has 1.1 million views and 32,000 likes, quoted the trailer and said, "If you watch and support this, you are funding trans genocide globally, by the way." Except for the part where you're really not. Like, you can disagree with a lot of the policies and pushback to the trans movement or the trans community right now without using ridiculous terms like trans genocide, okay? That is so belittling to actual genocide victims. There's no camps for trans people. It's like, y'all sound ridiculous. You discredit yourselves, and watching this show has no impact at all, as we will get into, on any sort of pushback to the trans community, let alone a genocide that literally is not a thing. Like, I would love to know this. Who are the 32,000 human beings who saw that tweet and were like, good point? Because y'all probably belong in a padded room and definitely should not have the right to vote. All right, let's keep going here with some of these tweets. Another dude wrote, JK Rowling has made it her life mission to be utterly transphobic, celebrating legislation that harms the trans community and gleefully promoting her hatred online. It deeply saddens me that anyone would wish to support that by watching the new Harry Potter show. Well, that's because they're not? Like, what? Talk me through the steps here. Watching a show about Harry Potter is therefore me supporting all the activism of the woman who created Harry Potter in some way. How? Like, that, you realize that's not a thing. You can watch a show created by somebody and you're not endorsing their worldview or all of their activism. Do you know how many different HBO shows or movies I've watched and enjoyed, and the person is some like lived out director that does crazy activism that I totally disagree with? Like, there isn't this leap of endorsement. And now I guess they're trying to make some sort of financial connection, but at least specifically in the case of JK, that makes no sense at all. So here's another tweet, and then I'll explain. Thomas Willett wrote, "Trans lives will be destroyed using the profits from this series." So here's why I disagree with this, because I think, like, theoretically, in some contexts, this could be true. That, for example, if you have a business owner who's like using all their money to fund something you strongly disagree with, then by patronizing that business, you are sort of enabling that activism. But that absolutely does not apply to JK Rowling, because she is already one of the wealthiest people on the planet. She has essentially infinite money. So whatever amount of money she wanted to donate to anti-trans, and we could go through a whole dispute over whether her advocacy for women's sex-based rights is even anti-trans, right? That's a whole argument we could have. But just for the purposes of argument, let's take that at face value, that she really is funding anti-trans advocacy. It has no impact whether you watch this show or not, whether you play the stupid Hogwarts video game or not. She has infinite money. Whatever amount of money she wants to give to these groups, she can give, whether this show flops or whether it thrives. There is no correlation or relation. So this whole line of argument makes no sense, but they just repeat it over and over and over and over and over and over again to try to bully people out of enjoying something. Because that's just like what totally normal, well-adjusted people spend their time doing, trying to take away from others a piece of nostalgia or happiness in the world that we live in that was going to bring them joy. What a wonderful way to spend your days and your time and your energy online, people. Really great stuff. I don't know. Let's keep going here. I got more. Oh, trust me, I got more tweets. Somebody wrote, "Deeply disappointed by every actor and actress who joined the cast of a series openly promoted with the words, 'based on the beloved books by JK Rowling.'" Well, my friend, you need a hobby. You need a hobby. Have you tried chess? Maybe collecting stamps. Like, what do you mean? You're feeling deep disappointment over what some actor did or did not decide to do. I don't believe you, actually. I actually think you might just be virtue signaling, and you're actually not that bothered by it, but you just want to signal that you're one of the good ones online. But if you are telling the truth and you really are deeply disappointed, like saddened at your core by this, that's more an indictment of you and the priorities and emphasis in your life and the lack of like mental stability and emotional resilience of a functioning adult than it is anything about JK Rowling or anything about these actors. Because it's like, what do you mean, bro? How are you going to judge an actor who takes a once in a lifetime opportunity to feature in a series like this? I just, oh yeah, they should really prioritize your politics and boycott it in a way that will have no meaningful impact to anything except hurting their own career. Yeah, that would be so stunning and so brave. um Anyway, I'll try to see. Oh, here's a lovely post. They really do show their respect for women by treating women that disagree with them so in such a lovely and kind way. Here's somebody. They took the screen grab from the trailer and that says, "based on the beloved books by J.K. Rowling," and they crossed it out and rewrote, "based on the tainted books by a transphobic." I'm gonna have to bleep that, but it's a word that starts with C. How lovely. Like, this is really helping y'all beat the misogynistic allegations, isn't it now? Yeah, okay. So many of these are so repetitive. They parrot the same talking points over and over and over again. But I just find it hard to believe that people are still unironically doing this in the year of our Lord 2026, raging on Twitter about Harry Potter and people enjoying it. But it is an interesting dichotomy because there was this similar backlash when that video game came out, Hogwarts Legacy, whatever. I never played it, but so many people online, so many media think pieces, so much backlash, and then it was still like a massively successful game. And I would suspect, even if like some right-wing people get super mad about Black Snape, which I do agree is silly, but you're just not gonna see me, what is that clavicular dude? I'm not gonna spike my cortisol over it, frankly. Like, even if they get super mad about it online, even if Matt Walsh does a whole segment about it, even if all these like lefties rage online about like transphobia and all this stuff, I feel like the show's probably actually going to be really popular, and millions and millions and millions of people are going to watch it, and it'll like probably shatter some HBO records or something. Like, that to me seems like the most likely outcome, because it's a reminder that most of the masses don't actually pay that close attention to the culture war stuff and just kind of check out, like kind of like those spring breakers we reacted to the other day. And I still don't think they should be that ignorant, but I do understand and to some extent support the idea of checking out from some of the contentious debates and everything. And I think this one could be one of those sagas that really does remind us that Twitter is not real life and that TikTok is not real life. Not to say they don't have massive influence and significance, because they do, because that's where lots of very active and energized people get their information and ideas. But do the masses really still respond to this kind of thing? Did they ever? I'm not so sure. And so that's why I think that all this meltdown and hair pulling and screeching on Twitter is probably only going to draw, if anything, like the effect might even be to boost the series a little bit by ginning up some controversy, getting people like me talking about it when we wouldn't have. Not that like my podcast is going to make a noticeable difference, but I'm just saying lots of people like me or much bigger talking about it. So that's another hilarious thing. There could almost be a Streisand effect where people getting mad at it just draws more attention to the series. And ultimately, I think it might just be massively successful. And I find their tears delicious. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. If you aren't yet, hit the like button and do consider becoming a channel member to support my independent commentary. And guys, that'll be it for today's episode of the Brad versus Everyone podcast. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk again real soon.